fire. I don't even know how much fire equipment they've been able to move up onto those underwater.
It's just coming down, Pat. It is just coming down.
Watch the right
It's
side.
exploding. It is billowing. Pat, the debris is flying. I'm going to run.
Okay.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
Different view. Both buildings are aflame. And then the building that was hit second comes tumbling down. That was the one where the airplane came in particularly quickly and hit the building at about floor 71.
It's like a sound I never heard before. I hope I never hear again.
On the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, Americans and American symbols in 2 Arab countries tonight are under attack by radical Islamist forces, and someone at the American consulate in Benghazi is dead. Unclear if that
We're not aware of any actionable intelligence indicating that an attack on the U.S. mission in Benghazi was planned or imminent. This is not a case of protests directed at the United States.
It began spontaneously.
We've seen rage and violence directed at American embassies.
Sparked by this hateful video.
Over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with.
Protests that arose because of the outrage over the video.
This video is disgusting.
Disgusting and reprehensible.
Where there is an offensive video or cartoon.
There was a hateful video.
This is in response to a video that is offensive.
You don't really believe that?
Of course, absolutely I believe that, because in fact it's the case.
They weren't there to demonstrate about some obscure film.
As Leon Panetta said, it was obviously a terrorist attack.
The government there saying that they had warned the United States about the situation in Benghazi and that it was deteriorating.
Days before the attack, there were warnings about insufficient security in Benghazi.
Chris Stevens was the first U.S. ambassador killed in more than 30 years.
Said in the months before his death, he talked about being worried about the never-ending security threats.
I don't know how you argue we weren't caught flat-footed.
Specifically about the rise in Islamic extremism and growing al-Qaeda presence.
It leads to questions.
Does it make any sense to you the level of, or the small level of security he apparently had with him?
The White House story crumbling.
I would say yes. They were killed in the course of a terrorist attack.
Hillary Clinton admitted that al-Qaeda was involved.
It wasn't just a mob action.
He said, it is self-evident that what happened in Benghazi was a terrorist attack.
What happened in Benghazi was a terrorist attack.
U.S. officials knew within 24 hours that this was an organized al-Qaeda attack.
Which said the U.S. government knew about al-Qaeda's involvement within 24 hours of the attack.
In the intelligence community, there are those who within the first 24 hours were saying this was a terrorist attack.
Why did Ambassador Rice give the American people bad information?
There is more proof that this was all part of an elaborate cover-up by the administration.
It's either gross incompetence and negligence, or in fact they are lying.
The president has a big investment in the narrative that not only is Osama dead, but al-Qaeda is finished.
And some of these militias are affiliated with al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda is very much alive.
Clear that al-Qaeda is alive and well. Bin Laden dead, al-Qaeda alive.
I was pretty certain, and continue to be pretty certain, that there are going to be bumps in the road.
We had no actionable intelligence that an attack on our post in Benghazi was planned or imminent.
Contrary to the White House's public statements, which were still being made a full week later, it's now well established that the Americans were attacked by Al-Qaeda in a well-planned assault.
It was a non-event, the video in Libya, and we had heard nothing about protests.
The law enforcement source who said to me, from day one, we have known clearly that this was a terrorist attack.
Everyone who spoke tried to give the information that they had. As time has gone on, the information has changed.
There had not been a protest, but that there were elements had been involved in the attack, extremist elements, and that it was a terrorist attack.
Take the talk! Follow me, Benny. Watch your six!
What's going on?
Christ! Get your body armor on! Get into the safe haven! Go! Go! Hurry!
They're everywhere. What should we do? Dave, get your weapon, move fast to Villa.
How many?
All DSB advised there are 30, maybe 40 tangos coming through the Charlie 1 gate.
Hello? Hello? Doesn't work. Phone! I need a phone! Alex, call the CIA, call the annex.
GRS, muster in the CP right now.
All because of what happened in this fiery compound on September 11th, 2012, when armed al-Sharia militants stormed a diplomatic compound, then a nearby CIA annex. 4 Americans slaughtered, including Ambassador Chris Stevens. Mark Geist, known as Oz, was one of 6 former elite military operatives who fought back that night.
We knew that to get out of there, we're going to have to depend on each other, kill them before they kill you.
Former Army Ranger Chris Parento, a.k.a. Tonto, was also there.
That night was completely chaotic, and it wasn't just a simple couple firefights and we got home.
And tonight, director Michael Bay releases 13 Hours,
How many?
the so-called secret soldiers of Benghazi's version of what happened.
This was a really heroic night, really heroic. I never knew that until I read the book and talked to these guys.
In real life, the tragedy triggered massive investigations At its core, questions of insufficient security and what then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton did or didn't know about what sparked the onslaught.
What difference at this point does it make? It is our job to figure out what happened and do everything we can to prevent it from ever happening again, Senator.
Oz, Tonto, and John Tegan are now coming out of the shadows after writing the book on which the movie is based. Hired to guard the CIA annex, they receive a call at 9:42 p.m. from the diplomatic compound a mile away. Ambassador Stevens needed help.
If you do not get here soon,
we are all gonna die.
listen up. None of you have to go. We are the only help they have.
The men immediately gear up, raring to race to the rescue.
2 vehicle station ready. Let's go. Move, move.
But the CIA base chief in the movie version tries to delay them.
Losing the initiative.
Stand down!
There are congressional reports that suggest that that didn't happen. What do you say to that?
I didn't see him sitting next to me when they told to stand down.
So the CIA base chief said to you what?
He told me, he said, stand down, you need to wait.
And he told me to wait twice. So we can get into semantics, but stand down was said.
What did it cost?
It cost the lives of Sean Smith and Ambassador Stevens.
Tonight, the CIA calling the claims in the movie shameful, a distortion of the events, and denied any stand-down order. The base chief told the Washington Post that at no time did I ever second-guess that the team would depart. The men say the crucial delay crippled their rescue mission. By the time they got there, extremists had set fire to the residence.
What would you say to the critics who think that you're politically motivated?
That's the problem. We as a country have gotten so politicized or so polarized. This, I think, is something that was done right down the middle. You got honor, you got integrity, you got courage. That's what we need, and I hope people come to see this for, is to bring it back to the center.
Something perhaps folks on both sides of the aisle can agree on.